Good evening, SpeedGaming 3. Welcome to Week 1 of Season 7 of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. We have a couple of awesome teams here playing All Dungeons Key Drop Boot Start Co-op. We have on the left Past the Potence, formerly Past the Picanha, with James FNX and PH, Fibonacci. And on the right, we have Sphere-FUNity, formerly Sphere-FUnity, with GFE and P-Train, both last year's Open League teams that performed very well in the Open League and are here in the Invitational League this season. I'm Drossi, here with Furious Prince, and we have Homemade Beer and Blue Link on tracking. How are you, Furious Prince?
I'm excited. I'm feeling great. Ready to start another league season, and we're off to a great week 1, and here we go.
Here we go, and two of the runners didn't start their time. Well, GFE isn't showing started at all, but PH didn't seem to start his timer.
James and P-Train finding a glove there at Sanctuary.
Yeah,
sure.
so we have kind of the diagonals from each other, which is a bit unfortunate. But P-Train and James are nicely synced going into basement with that early glove and an ice rod there. Nice to get that out of the way.
Yeah, no one wants to find an ice rod hunt later on in the seed.
We've also been getting a lot of money. That was 100 in Uncle Chest, and there was 300 in Back of Escape. GFE is at Saha learning that TRs are green pendant today.
Well, hopefully that means that they're not going to have to use that ice rod they found super early.
Now, one thing about Key Drop with GFE picking up a Thieves Small and a Skullwood Small is they're not just nice to haves. You need those in Key Drop.
Absolutely. And this is the kind of mode where you need to memorize, alright, which enemies drop keys again? Oh yeah, well I need this key for this from this enemy just so I can get through, X door.
Right, there are 2 small keys to Eastern now. I mean, there have always been 2 small keys to Eastern, but since they're dropped from enemies, you don't usually think about them. Actually, one's from a pot.
James finding out that bombs are there on Lumberjack Ledge.
So no rush to beat Aga unless we need it for Dark World access. One other thing about this mode, Aga does not fire blue balls just because it's kind of long and you know you have to do all dungeons anyway.
Finding the bug net there at the mushroom spot, and we also found a small key to Tower of Hera on the drop down.
And Hera still just has that one small key that only serves to unlock the basement.
So far, nothing of note on GFE's side going into Eastern.
Looks like we're syncing now. Yeah, I'm waiting with bated breath to see what's in Blind Hut.
Absolutely, a five check.
Oh, another Thieves Small and another Skullwood Small in addition to what we had in Saha. Swamp Small. Wow, that's a lot of keys. Mire Small.
Yeah, that Swamp Small is a big find this early on into a seed.
Well, in Key Drop, it's not as big as in regular Key Sanity because, again, you need several of them. There's 6 Swamp Smalls all told.
Correct.
But it certainly will get you the first several checks. Once you can get into Swamp.
I actually believe it will only give you the second check in Swamp Palace.
Well, then it gives you the pot, and then, assuming you can Specky Clip, that gives you...
that is correct.
A few more.
I'm forgetting that Key Drop is not the same as Pot Shuffle.
Oh, was that the lamp in Cack well, as well as a bottle? Nice
Yes, it
finds.
was.
And the mire big.
I think a small key to Skull Woods there on Bottle Vendor.
Yeah, you need 2 minimum, so we already have knowledge of 3 for each team, so that's pretty good. Ooh, Desert Small. You need 3 of those, and 4 if you want to do the right side.
PH being extra careful there on South Shore. Only with 3 hearts against those crabs.
And Sick Kid doesn't get us anything for that bottle. Oh well. But we've done so well with money. Some of the players have Zora money already.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of them fake flipper over there.
Yeah, especially with PH already at Ice Rod Cave.
It'll give you a chance to go and check your Zora Ledge. Unfortunately, not able to check Waterfall Fairy without that Moon Pearl with the fake flipper, but at least you can get the big fish out of the way.
Ooh, TR Small again. TR Small keys are still pretty linear. Like in a regular key sanity mode, there are just 6 of them instead of 4. You need 3 to get through the first level. Ooh, and GFE off at Agena, that's always a good spot to check. PH decided not to do Zora? That's an interesting decision.
Agreed.
Or is that a 3? It's really hard for me to tell the difference between a 3 and a 5. That might just be the 3 in the first digit, not a 5. P-Train definitely has 5, and James definitely has 500.
There's definitely 3 on PH side, so that would probably
Okay.
be why.
Yeah, it's just hard at this resolution sometimes.
Yeah, looking at the restream, we can see that they have 357. Thank you to the chat to also help us point us that out.
And GFE doing the race game blind, or someone else must have been there by now, no? Yes. Oh, it was a small key, so. Yeah, definitely want to grab any you can. That was another swamp small, okay.
Yeah, this is one of those modes where it's a little bit more beneficial to check that blind, just knowing that you have all the keys added into the pool as well. I know I personally would.
Yeah, no, we are nowhere near being able to skip keys yet. Well, P-Train does have the money, so if he fake flippers, we'll probably get a Zora check. James's track is so nice and relaxing. What is it, Hollow Knight?
I believe so. DFE opting to buy bombs.
Did he run out?
I'm assuming so, because I know he didn't grab this back check, so it's possible. Oh, he hasn't even been in the well yet.
Oh. P-Train is going to drain that bottle and see what the fairy gives. He drained a red to get a green, okay.
Not the worst decision in the world. I'd probably drink it just to get the ice rod ammo.
That's true. Yeah, he could have drunk the green and then gotten another.
It's a little bit of a time loss, but it would probably be saving them time in the end. Alright, so we are going to see what's on the fish.
Ooh, fire rod. That's nice.
Now I definitely would have drank that green potion.
Yeah. Nice to have some fire rod shots once we start doing more dungeon dives. We can get to the mountain. We can't do much on the mountain, but Glove and Lamp do put Old Man in logic. But looks like P-Train is heading for the front of Escape and Uncle. Okay, PH is in fact heading for the mountain.
I'm going to assume GFE might be going there as well.
Yeah, he would have to be at this point if he's... No? Yes? Maybe? Okay, that was Quake on Uncle. I know one of the other runners has been to Uncle. I'm not seeing Quake on anyone's tracker.
I believe it was PH that was there. Thank you, Chef, keeping us honest.
And of course, yeah, there we go. P-Train's tracker's now up to date too with Quake. Another small key that is mirror locked on Spec Rock. Inside Spec Rock, we just have a compass, so Death Mountain is not currently the answer. But yes, P-Train going to give us our first look at Dark Cross, which is fully in logic.
I really like this play.
And we're still at low health, so you can see him setting up for the Death Warp there. And it's not Dark Cross either.
No, but he could have gone for the rat, correct? Oh, he doesn't have a key. Never mind.
Right. We don't have a key to get to the rat, but we are able to at least do the first couple of checks in the front.
I'm so used to having a key by this point, I'd never even think that
Yeah.
might be a key door.
Right, so we can do map chest and the first key guard in the front. Ooh,
Oh.
mitts. And there's the bow. I think GFE noped out of Eastern... Oh, no, GFE does have the bow. Never mind. I don't know why I didn't notice it. So the only thing the mitts get us at the moment is King's Tomb, and that's where P-Train is making a beeline for. And that is the Cape, which gives us access to Castle Tower. We don't have any smalls for it, but that is one check.
Yeah, and having that fire rod definitely is going to be very beneficial to P-Train.
Oh yeah, for getting past those early guards. It is by far the best weapon for that, unless you have, like, silvers.
Wonder if P-Train's regretting not having that extra bottle of magic right now.
His aim is fine. He only needs to kill 4 guards. That's enough magic for 4 or 5 shots. Oh, right, but he does use a little bit on the cape, so he's tight. He can't afford to miss. Or else he's using bombs.
PH now going back up towards Zora, now that they have the money.
Ah. P-Train not even trying the fire rod here. He's just using the boomerang to stun the guards. Do we know what the stun prize is?
I wasn't paying attention, but it looks like
The
it's
stun
just
prize is small hearts, and that is our Moon Pearl, so that is Dark World access.
Oh, strap in. This just the way this early logic's been. I think we're in for a long one.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of Skullwood Smalls and a Fire Rod. We can get to the back of Skull Woods and do everything but Moth because, well, we don't have the sword to get behind the curtain there. But yeah, Skull Woods has a lot of checks for us, and of course, the Front of Thieves is always 4 checks. That is quite a circuitous route, though. You need to get the mitts, to get the cape from King's Tomb, to get the Moon Pearl from the first chest of Castle Tower. And P-Train deciding that he wants to do Village of Outcasts before he goes to Skull Woods. Maybe he'll get a sword here. That's probably the thinking. Book.
GV gonna have a slightly easier time with the bow. Having a little bit more arrows than he does magic.
Oh yeah, he's got like 20 arrows. And there's another TR Small in the brewery as PH is about to get his Moon Pearl, and then past the Potence will know about their Dark World access. And our second medallion, Ether and C-shaped house, so decent chance we're not going to have to go on any medallion hunt for Meyer or TR.
Just reading chat, I don't think that that's a bad idea. Immediately flipping to ice palace.
Well, P-Train found the first small to it. You do actually need smalls for ice because, again, they won't drop necessarily from the places they usually drop in the dungeon. I think you need a minimum of 2 smalls to get to Cold Stare.
I believe that's correct.
Oh, now we have a full magic container. There's the ice. Okay, now you start wondering about fake flippering to ice, especially if you get a second ice small. Well, you don't have hammer though, so that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, you're missing out on 1 check.
But there always are those fun hammer and ice seeds. And I guess PH will give us our first look at Skullwoods.
Just to keep our trackers honest, P-Train found the big key to Ice Palace.
I wonder if P-Train is going to take a Smith's World tour. Oh, there's a second ice small sitting right there in Skull Woods. And that's a lot of digs for just a compass in the dig game. And that's our first Hyrule Castle small, so now we can either get to Boomerang Chest or we can get to Key Rat. And yes, P-Train is going to do a Smith's World tour, so he's probably thinking Stumpy and Hype Cave, and then probably save and quit. PH really wants those Gyptos out of the way.
Unfortunately, PH falling to another Gypto.
Yeah. Oh, and Eastern and Hera are 5-6. Yeah, that is just unfortunate PH didn't want to walk into the Gibdo, but that gave the Wallmaster plenty of space to grab him. And Hype Cave has an Eastern Small. With an Eastern... Ooh, Flippers. And an Ice Small, so, you know, can get into Ice and Logic now. And with an Eastern Big, we can beat Eastern.
Gilgamesh, I don't think your idea is as crazy as you think it is.
It's going to be one of those Hammer and Ice seeds, isn't it?
He's using that game knowledge to go grab that full magic before death warping.
And for all that trouble, he got a Swamp Small, which is not nothing. James about to discover that it's like 25 digs for a compass. Smiths make us a Turtle Rock Small. PH, the first of our runners into the back of Skullwoods. Mirror. Oh, but he doesn't have the book yet, so he can't just read Ped. I imagine P-Train and James, when they get to that point, will both read Ped. Okay, so PH Scouting Bumper Ledge. I don't think you've seen this, or... Well, it's just bombs, so if we have, it's not relevant. Oh yeah, now that PH has the mirror, we can do Graveyard Ledge. And this actually makes Smith's Chain a pretty palatable play for him, too. James finding the flippers. Ooh! First sword. So mirror-locked sword. Notice we're still at really low health. All the runners are only at 4 hearts and we're 22 minutes in.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, we know where one heart container is. Unfortunately, most of the runners have already been there. The only one that hasn't been to Zora is James.
And considering... Actually, Zora did have a small key, right?
Zora had the fire up.
Oh, the fire. Okay. I knew Zora had something up. So, yeah, maybe he'll grab that heart container when he goes for his fire rod. Ooh, perfect timing for P-Train there getting Wall Mastered right after getting the item. But he doesn't want to go to the back.
I unfortunately was not paying attention. PH has another small key to do the rest of Skullwoods, correct?
I can't remember because he did spend one in the front. And you need 2 to get through the back of Skullwoods.
Mountains, the only thing that they can really do there is Hera. I mean, they're not doing the worst loot.
Yeah, they can only do the first few checks. I mean, Hera basements in Logic. Yay.
James gonna go grab the fire up.
And maybe with his current health, you will get that heart container.
According to trackers, James does have one more small key than PH, so it's possible James goes to finish up Skullwoods before PH does.
Well, it's a double dip because unless we find another sword, because you have to go in to get the mirror and then out to get the
correct.
sword. But yeah, PH doing Smith Chain, which is going to be much easier to do with the mirror. And GFE is our first runner into Pod. So Pod has no key drops, so it's the same 6-key setup and logic as always for getting through Pod. Last night we had a race in which 3 out of 4 runners hovered Pod Arena Ledge. But of course,
Just
with the
goes to
bow,
show
you can
you
just
the
get their
skill
logic.
quality of these people.
P-Train will probably hover it.
Is it really League if there's not a hover?
P-Train likes doing things like hovering the gap before Trinex. Oh, I didn't actually catch Purple Chest. Oh, it was nothing. And PH doesn't have the book, so he couldn't check Bombos.
Did PH not do chess game when they were there?
Can't remember.
I saw them grab Ether, which was in Village Broadcast.
Yeah, that was C-shaped house, I believe. And D-Train finally getting his bow, PH finally getting his flippers. We're starting to get to, everyone getting all the important items that their teammates know about. Though, Sphere-FUnity doesn't know about that mirror because P-Train did not go to the back of Skull Woods. We'll have to ask in the interview. But that could bite them if he doesn't get back there and GFE doesn't get over there at some point. And we are getting our ped check from James. Junk.
Sag. We are going into Swamp Palace, and also getting a hobo check.
Now, with neither a hammer nor a hookshot, we are not getting very far into Swamp, but we will get the map chest here and the pot check.
Big key to Desert there in the Dark Maze from GFE. A small key to Pod on P-Trains.
Chat suggesting that P-Train didn't want to go to the back of Skull Woods without a sword. If so, that's really unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but one check versus, however many he had left to do. I don't think it was the worst decision in his mind. Obviously, we know there was something there, but you can't know that in the moment.
And GFE is the first of our runners to actually go into desert, while P-Train is in ice. Yay, ice. Ooh, heart container dropped by the battery, nice. And looks like PH is going to join P-Train in ice. Nope. No, he's just cutting over to Pod, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, that lack of mirror knowledge is also hurting Sphere-FUnity just because of not having that sword to make ice a little bit easier.
Hey, there's a Pod small on the desert torch. Still haven't found Samaria, so we can't icebreaker.
Oh, hey, look, they found a sword. Big Keep Desert paying off huge for GFE.
Oh, I didn't even realize you'd gotten the big, okay.
Yeah, Big Key was in Dark Maze of Pod.
Well, hopefully that'll get him to the back of Skull Woods and they'll find the mirror.
Yeah, James looking to go grab his sword from Graveyard Ledge as well. I missed the small key there on Desert Ledge.
Yeah, it was GT, and P-Train finds a TR small and ice. No point in doing Ice Palace Bomb Jump because you're not gonna finish it.
Fortunately, GFE now realizing they don't have another small key to get through that last door.
Yeah, well. It would be a nice quick Landmo fight, too, with the Fire Rod and Half Magic. And we're so poor on health that P-Train is actually using the cape to go across the spikes there.
Thank you for your chat. We completely missed that GFE found the flute in the back of Desert.
Oh, wow. Yes, thanks, Lana. It's hard with 4 runners, especially when several of them are doing new checks. Hey, there's our first CT small. There are 4 of them, and it took us more than half an hour to just find the first one.
I do just want to take a quick second to go shout out all these runners, say go give all of them a follow, give their teammates a follow. We're in for the long haul in League. This is just week 1, so we're going to see a lot of exciting races. And also go give my co-commentator Drowsy a follow, as well as our trackers Balloon Link and Homemade Beer.
And PH giving us a look at Pyramid, but that's just junk. Meyer Shed has a Skullwood small. Okay, this makes it more likely GFE might actually go to beat Moth, and, you know.
Oh, unfortunate on James's side.
What's unfortunate on James's side?
He unfortunately threw the Pen Gator into that top right corner where it was unreachable.
Oh,
But it was frozen with ether, so there was no unfreezing.
Oh, wow, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. So P-Train, of course, has made a beeline for Desert to get that flute and that sword. Actually, not the sword, he doesn't have the big key.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen P-Train go into pod just yet.
though PH is about to go into pod.
Both teams having information that the others do not have. Sphere-FUNity having that information about the flute, and past the Potence has the information at the mirror.
I just realized it's probably Potence. It's a French dish. Swamp Big. We can't get to the Swamp Big chest yet, but hey, if we can get to it, we can open it now. Yeah, so far Skull Woods is the only dungeon we have. Well, actually, that Desert Small for GFE means he could go back and beat Desert. So GFE actually has the means to beat 2 dungeons now. But yeah, the game has to start giving us stuff to beat dungeons at some point.
Yeah, we're finding a whole lot of pieces, but never enough to complete a puzzle.
Hey, GFE actually got a 4th piece of heart to get a refill into another heart container. Amazing. Oh, that's where the GT Big was. Shooter chest. I was wondering how it had gotten onto GFE's tracker. Yeah, Sphere-FUnity are gonna feel a little bit silly when they get that mirror.
We are officially up to 7 hearts, is the highest.
But I missed the Hyrule Castle Big that GFE got and now PH has. And with 2 small keys, I think we could actually make it to Zelda's Cell. Okay, what's GFE doing? He seems a bit confused. PH is going to Pyramid Pod area. I guess PH hasn't been... P-Train hasn't been to Pod yet.
No, they were busy in ice when GFE was in pod.
And James is going into Desert, but without the big key, so he won't learn about the Master Sword. Okay, GFE is going to CAC Portal, so this may finally get him to the back of Skull Woods. But James will learn about the flute shortly. James is thinking. Oh, I don't wonder if he was thinking about whether he should use his one small key on right side. I don't know. Oh no, GFE gets grabbed right before Pinball Room. I don't know why he's taking the long way around. I think he was going to burn the key anyway. So why not just go around to the right and burn the key off the bat? Or no, he doesn't have to burn the key. Right. He was going to get grabbed by the Wall Master, he just did it too fast. Where did he get his second sword from? Did you happen to see that?
I was just about to ask the same question. I have to look over. Looks like not wanting to burn that key is going to choose to save and quit off of death warp. Apologies again, folks. There's just so much to look at.
Okay, thank you, Bright-Eyed. Fishbone Room had a sword, so we now know the locations of 3 swords, though no team has put that together. Jeez, the Gibdos Wallmasters really aren't playing nice today. Okay, GFE is thinking, okay, maybe I should actually go to the back of Skullwoods.
I mean, if I was him, I'd have, a Master Sword, the Fire Rod, half magic. And he didn't burn that key, so at least, it makes a little bit more sense.
Right, he's got plenty of keys for going to the back. He's gonna rush Moth, just don't forget about Bridge Chest afterwards. GFE doesn't want money. I mean, he paid off Zora and he's already back over 600 rupees. He paid off Zora and Key.
Oh!
Hook shot and checkerboard, wow.
I don't think you have to even check that when they were over in Meyer.
He doesn't have the mirror.
Oh, you're right.
So that finally opens up the mountain for us.
And with James having that flute, it is going to make travel up there a lot faster.
And Moth is not playing nice for GFE. There we go. Finally gets off those top spikes. For the hammer!
Way. On a pendant.
Yep. Pendant Moth with the hammer. Sounds like Colonel Mustard in the dining room with a candlestick.
Oh. Well, you said we had to find stuff to beat dungeons, so I think we found it.
Yep. So we could beat Ice now, I think. Though, it's kind of annoying without Samaria. And GFE is going to discover that mirror. And poor P-Train just went into Castle Tower for nothing but a big 20. And looks like PH is going to be getting that hammer shortly, though he has to do a fighter sword Moth fight, but he also has a decent amount of magic.
Very nice fight so far.
Oh yeah. Moth behaved a bit better.
Oh, there's this big key to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, GFE got that. There's another Swamp Small on Spec Rock. And hey, this is our first look at Ether. Blue Mail, you take it, especially with this little health.
P-Train about ready to get there for a sword.
And I think now that he knows where the mirror is, P-Train is likely to be the member of Sphere-FUNity who finds the sword on Graveyard Ledge, finds the hookshot. Too bad GFE's in here without the hookshot, so he can't actually get up to Moldorm.
No, but it means we get to see Hair Basement.
Always fun. I are small on hammer pegs, but I think we have enough of those. Okay, so yeah, P-Train is absolutely going for his mirror and hammer. And Hera Basement had a penny for your thoughts. Being up here without the hookshot is unfortunate for GFE because I don't think he hovers, so he's going to have to pass up 3 checks in Hookshot Cave.
We found a shroom. So there's one of our fetch quest items.
So there's P-Train's hammer. And hey, some more health in Paradox Cave.
Unfortunately, like you said, GFE probably not going to get those checks in Hookshot Cave. And it would be very unfortunate if we find out later that the Samaria is there, seeing as you're so close to Kettle Rock.
Well, PH is also on the mountain without the hookshot. At least I don't think he went and grabbed the hookshot before going to the mountain.
I don't think so either, but at least his teammate has the knowledge of where it is.
Oh yeah, PH still doesn't have the flute. So he definitely didn't grab the hookshot. And GFE opening TR to get it out of the way. Obviously can't do anything in there without Samaria. Oh, and P-Train unfortunately also going to the mountain without the hookshot. I was kind of hoping one of them would do the mirror checks. I don't know if they're sending P-Train as a hoverer. There's Bombos, which doesn't do anything for us.
Another Skull Woods, which is useless to us.
Yeah, they must be sending P-Train because he can hover. Meanwhile, PH doing this a lot more calmly because he has the hook shot. Ooh, and GFE going for Spike Cave. We, of course, have invincibility items to put that in logic. Decides to use the cape rather than Burna. Is that just... Well, no, this is fast ROM, so lag shouldn't be an issue. But Spike Cave is nothing.
There goes Moth on James' side.
So everyone has a hammer now. Okay, let's see the hover P-Train. And PH, for that matter. Simultaneous hovers. Oh, PH didn't make it. P-Train did. There's Powder, you were saying fetch quests.
Yeah, at least they don't need to save that mushroom anymore.
Ooh, P-Train just missed on that. That's the hard hover in there.
To answer your question in chat, no, that none of them have Samaria, so they can't scum the mushroom anyways.
And PH gets that first hover for the Powder. James still the only player on either team with the hook shot. And nice second hover from PH.
Unless he found Samaria in Spike Cave, I was not paying attention.
No, Spike Cave was junk.
Okay. Because I did see the reset too.
Well, the scummed mushroom... Well, I guess... If Magic Bat is something... Well, no, GFE doesn't have Samaria.
Yeah.
And... Not that it's guaranteed, but since we know where Hookshot is, I imagine Sphere-FUNity will find the Hookshot before they find Samaria. PH getting the news about Spike Cave being junk. And James, with that hookshot, is the first runner to Moldorm. What will Moldorm give us? Junk. And a crystal. Right, that's a 5-6, but I don't think Past the Potence knows that. Okay, PH is finally gonna get his flute and his master sword.
We are going to see the match bat.
Makes sense. GFE went to all that trouble of save scumming the mushroom for PH to just use powder. P-Train, rather.
He's hurt.
Oh, and this is our first check of Bombos from James here. Small key to pod. And there's another CT small sitting in ice, so definitely need that. Oh, now P-Train's finally making mirror checks. But of course, he'll check Bombos without the Master Sword, so he'll need to go back if he wants that pod small. We still don't have a pod big.
Unfortunately, we're now getting in kind of a bottleneck situation where we have all these little small checks that they just ran away from or couldn't check early on. We still haven't checked the rat in sewers. That's because we didn't have a small key.
And we haven't been down to Zelda's cell either.
Yeah.
And PH just ran out of small keys before he could quite get to Landmos, just like GFE did.
So now we're at that point where there's just a whole bunch of little small checks that it becomes a, well, where do I go next?
Well, I think beating the bosses you can is a good strategy. And P-Train now in the mire area, so we should see checkerboard. Yep, he's heading there.
Very nice fight from GFE.
Yeah, especially on Master Sword. Another pod small.
Does that put us at 6 smalls that we know of?
Yeah, and since all these runners can hammer jump, you really only need 5, so I doubt we're going for Bombos. Oh, there's the Harabig, okay. It was just behind the hook shot all this time. Yeah, GFE immediately going for the hook shot now that P-Train's told him where it is. Ah, Swamp Big has a TR small. Definitely want that.
To answer the question in chat, yes, Landmo is now possible with that small key in Swamp.
And P-Train will be the first of Sphere-FUnity to do the deeper dive into Swamp.
I don't disagree with James here. Normally, I'm an advocate for left side swamp, but when you have to save those keys as much as you can, I just go straight for Argus.
Yeah, unless you're one of those rare runners who can do bomb spooky. We saw Andy pull it off last night. It was pretty impressive, and I know Relkin does it, so at least 2 people in Invitational League can do it, but I'm sure the large majority, even of Invitational runners, don't know bomb spooky, at least not reliably. Oh, there's another Desert Small.
That should be all of our Desert Smalls, right? Now they can check right side
Think
Desert
so.
and also get Landmo.
And another Hyrule Castle Small. I think we can clean out Escape finally.
Eastern. Which is still a dungeon that's clearable.
Yeah, Eastern is absolutely clearable. And GFE going straight for the back, not even doing that pot check on the left side. Oh, because P-Train's on the left side. Never mind. Guess that's the plus of having 2 players in Swamp at the same time.
Yeah, this is really where it comes down to the bottlenecking I was talking about, because when both runners are doing the same dungeon, you know that they're running low on a lot of major options.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have Eastern after this, and as discussed, they can go and do land mows. And down goes Argus for another big key, this one to Thieves. Ooh.
That's huge.
Yeah, we do have all 3 smalls to Thieves, so yeah, we can full clear that.
Well, coming out of Swamp, we have the option to go do the other 5-6 in Eastern, or go to Thieves Town. Looks like Eastern it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, James is the only one who's actually beaten Harris, so he's the perfect person to go to Eastern, and then he can do Pyramid Fairy. GFE getting that Thieves big.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see GFE go to Thieves Town.
Yeah, and now you can divvy things up. Send GFE to Thieves Town, send P-Train to Eastern.
Eastern, Hera, for either one.
Or the last bit of desert. But yeah, James back in pod. We still have seen no sign of the pod big. Oh, James hasn't been into pod, period. I just realized he doesn't have desert big. Right, his 2 swords have been Mire and Graveyard Ledge. PHs have been Graveyard Ledge and Desert, and both the Sphere-Funities have been Mire and Desert. Well, actually, P-Train has only gotten the Desert one.
There's the red meringue there on GFE's side. Our tracker letting us know that P-Train burned the Eastern Palace small key.
Well, he's holding an Eastern small, so if he's burned one, he has the other, so he's fine. This is our first look at Eastern Big, but that's just junk.
Oh, please. It is!
Finally, the pod big. Okay.
We started off with a wild sequence, and we got another one.
And there's a Thieves Small, and so I guess they didn't have all 3 Thieves Smalls. If there was one in Thieves that we definitely haven't seen before. That's amazing. Vanilla Thieves Small and Blind Cell.
There's our other small. There's another small key to Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, I think that's the last one, at least from our perspective. Oh, come on, GFE. You have to freeze. The suspense is killing me. GFE's own tracker, own stream is fine, so hopefully we'll get him back soon. And looks like P-Train is going for Hera now so that he can check the 5-6. So what do we still need? Samaria is kind of the big thing. PR big, we haven't seen that either.
So according to our tracker and also from Twitch chat, apparently Samaria was on blind.
Ah. Yes, I guess if it's on GFE's tracker and if someone went to his stream and it's on his tracker, that's probably where it is, and that's probably why PH is now rushing there.
To keep everyone up to date, right now GFE is currently in Mire, and according to their tracker, it does have Samaria on there.
Oh, okay.
So more than likely, it's on blind.
Maybe once James beats Blind, I'll try relaunching so that we can get GFE's stream back.
Currently, GFE is on oh my god, I'm blanking on the name.
Vitreous?
Yes, thank you. Vitreous boss fight. And down goes Vitreous. And the reward is 300 rupees.
Oh, now James is also frozen. I really need to relaunch after P-Train beats Blind here.
I think Thieves sounds just cursed.
Yeah, the Restream bot just doesn't... Okay, James is back. So Yep, there's Samaria. So we really just need TR Big. Okay. Please stand by. I'm gonna relaunch here. And we are back. We can see GFE is now finally doing the back of desert. Just give the restream a few moments to buffer here. There we go. The right side of desert. So I guess GFE has already beaten desert. Then if he's doing the right side. Or no, because he just came out of Mire, it was easiest to go in and do right side desert. Now he'll do the back. While P-Train and James take their newfound Samaria to Mire. GFE reflexes. You've already been there. You already got the item. By the way, Furious Prince, if you're saying anything, you're muted.
I know. I cough button.
Oh, okay.
P-Train probably gonna go and grab that second sword from Fishbone Room. James probably gonna skip it, just because at this point you're mostly just probably go-moding this.
Right, if they don't know about it. Can't remember who on their team knows about it.
I don't think either one of them on Pass knows.
Oh, did they both get it from Desert and from Graveyard Ledge?
I believe so.
Okay. I mean, because if you know where Tempered is, you definitely want to get Tempered.
Oh, absolutely, especially if you don't have silvers.
Yeah. You don't want to do Master's Silverless if you can help it.
This is one of those situations where they know they're only looking for a big key, and it's just one out of how many checks that they can do.
Okay, GFE now going back to Pod with the big key.
Because they've still got Agus Tower, they've still got Escape.
Oh, chat's saying that James has already been to Fishbone and has that sword.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought that one of them had been to Fishbone.
Well, which sword is James missing?
What?
I said, so then which sword is James missing?
Oh, he hasn't been to Desert Big.
Oh. For some reason, I thought he did when he went to go grab the item out of the bag.
And there's another Swamp Small that we don't particularly need because I'm sure none of these runners really want to do left side Swamp. Oh, P-Train has the pod big, GFE doesn't. Right, because he needs to go into Eastern to get the pod big, which is he's doing now.
Thank you, chat, for keeping us back on track. Between the 4 screens and also our technical difficulties, it's just hard to keep track.
I was just looking up to see if these two teams faced off last year in Open. They did not. They were both on the same side of the playoff bracket, but both teams lost to the team that was at the time Ed was supposed to carry us. Now Mind DM was supposed to carry us, which wound up making it to the conference finals. Ed is also therefore an Invitational League this season.
And there we go, 2 bosses done. Or 2 bosses completions, I should say, at the same time. Both James and GFE.
With P-Trade about to rack up another one. So at what point do you just assume your remaining CT smalls are in TR and GT, I wonder?
And there we go, James about ready to get the Tempered Sword now.
First of our runners to the Tempered Sword at an hour 16.
Featuring most likely on their way to Ice to finish that up, then to Hera, and then into Ganon's Castle. And up on GFE side, looks like we're gonna have our first one to Helmsware.
Okay, first Helma fight.
It's gonna be a tight one. It does have only a Master Sword, also only has 9 arrows.
Ah, he's doing hammer hits. Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, you hold out the Master Sword and that extends the hammer. But just for garbage. And our second pendant.
Ah, but required garbage.
Yes.
James unfortunately struck the icebreaker.
At least he gets to use it, considering how many runners went through ice without Samaria to begin with.
Oh, I understand his pain. My controllers won't let me do down right after switching to a new controller. There we go.
Anyway, PH on the final eyeball of Vidi as P-Train drops into Cold Stare. But I think GFE is gonna give us that TR dive? Or is he gonna do Hera first and try Pyramid Fairy?
At this point, I'm kind of hoping that TR big keys on left side swamp.
That would be horrible.
Well, all the other sequences we've had tonight so far?
I mean, we still have 2 CT smalls to find that can be literally anywhere except, well, Lumberjack, but we already know Lumberjack's junk. Red mail. So GFE is doing the hope the TR big is in TR play. I don't think we've seen Hera big chest, have we?
We have not. James is the only one to go up that way for Moldor, and the big key for Hera was inside the swamp.
Now GFE is going over to Hera. Okay.
Both PH and James both going over to the same area. PH most likely to go finish up with Pod. James gonna go grab his key to Eastern, to Pod, and finish up Eastern.
And just more health in the Hera big. GFE is the only runner who's on his second row of hearts.
After being in a deficit for so long.
Again, pretty impressive. At an hour 22, the 3 of the runners are still in their first row of hearts. So this now opens up Pyramid Fairy for GFE. I don't know if he wants to dive farther into TR. P-Train also going for Hammer Strats on Helma. Nicely done. I think his Graveyard Ledge is a pretty isolated check for Sphere-FUNity to go and do. Oh, I didn't even think about this. TR is a pendant, so we have all of GT available.
GT, Escape, yeah, there's a lot of checks still left.
And GT is now 31 checks in key drop instead of the usual 27.
Want to take a little guess, see if it's even in here, and if it is,
What is it the TR big?
Correct.
Ah. Because again, we still need 2 more CT smalls. And there's a 4th sword out there somewhere. Huh. E-Train decides to pull the blue mail. I guess since he has so little health.
Yeah, especially when you know you're going to find red mail so quick in TR.
GFE gets his 13th heart again while everyone else is on 1 row. Now you do have to be careful with your key use here, because you need 2 keys for the climb. Okay, you were right. There we go. Now we're in CT small key mode. And there's one of them!
Commentator's blessing?
And there's the 4th sword! So, okay.
My God.
Amazing.
And they still do not know that the 4th one is sitting there on Graveyard Ledge.
Right side GT has everything you could ever ask for. But yes, that does put Sphere-FUnity officially in Go -1.
And it's still possible that that small key is just sitting in Castle Tower.
Of course.
Unlikely, but possible.
Or TR, or Left Side Swamp, or Pyramid Fairy.
Escape. It could be on
yes.
the key rat that we've had 0 chance to get.
Or Zelda's Cell. Or maybe on the guard outside Zelda's Cell. So yeah, because of the needing to conserve keys, GFE is going to skip map chest. So I'd say Sphere-FUnity definitely has a lead here, but until we know where that last CT small is, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's unattainable at the moment. $14.
Oops, GFE tries to bonk over the portal, but doesn't quite. And that's Helma for James. Looks like PH is going to do a similar play to GFE. We'll see how much of TR he wants to go into. GT small and GT big. Wow. So do you go back for map chest before you do the climb? P-Train, meanwhile, is going to clear out TR now that he has the big. So I think, given how thorough they've been, GFE is probably going to do GT map chest before climbing.
Yeah, I mean, we've already come down to a couple spots where it's like, well, I was expecting that to be there, but...
Yeah, there he goes over to map chest. And let's... James is thinking... I don't know, if I'm James and I'm down there, I'm doing Pyramid Fairy, but we'll see what he actually does.
We haven't seen Catfish either, correct?
No, both sides have checked Catfish, it was junk.
Okay. It's been so long, just slipped
Yeah,
right
they
by me.
they checked a while ago. So PH about to get his blue mail because he checked Ether Tablet without the Master Sword, I believe. Ah, James trying to stock up on GT Smalls. And GFE actually has all the TR Smalls, so he can do Lava Chest. Which is junk. And Mimic Cave is junk. And why did James go over the top to get to TR area?
I'm wondering the same thing.
That's decidedly longer because of the amount of time it takes you to do 2 portals. Oh, our tracker homemade beer is saying it's only the same time. I'm surprised. So no one wants to do Pyramid Fairy yet. PH is the first to pass the Potence to enter GT here.
Unfortunately, I do believe that they are way behind now.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as they're following in Sphere-Funity's footsteps, they can't win. Unless Sphere-Funity really screws up. GFE rushing Trinex, while P-Train does Laser Bridge. I guess the hope is that... nope. GFE now going back to Laser Bridge? I don't know if that was some sort of a gamble. There's the last one. Okay, that is go mode at about 132.10.
That would also explain our the look of GFE. The times are still a little bit off.
Yeah. Oh, right, because of when we refreshed, yeah.
Beautiful fights on both sides there for Sphere-Funity. Just going to take this time as another moment to go and say shout out to all 4 runners as well as their teammates. If you see something you like, go ahead and give all 4 runners a follow. Actually, just give all 4 runners a follow anyways. Also, go give my co-commentator Drazi a follow, as well as our trackers Homemade Beer and Blue Link. We're in for a fun league season this year.
Yeah, sorry, I was fiddling with the audio. Figured we'd try to get it on Sphere-Funity's side since they're doing a climb now. And one nice thing about not having delay is we can't peek and see who won. But yeah, this is the first season of League to not have delay. So P-Train into Land Mode 2. Has a bit of trouble with the fire rod there. Actually, seems like GFE almost caught up to P-Train with the difference between their Landmo fights. I guess not quite. Ooh, P-Train down to 1.5 hearts, but he does have the powder. Nice clean torches 2 as GFE does torches 1. PH is back in TR, but he'll have to make it all the way to Laser Bridge before he gets his go mode.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're hoping that Sphere-FUnity whites out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what this game really turned on. It's hard to say. I feel like overall Sphere-FUnity was a bit more efficient in their dungeon dips, but I can't put my finger on specific dungeon dips that made a difference.
I'm wondering if it's most likely TR. Once they got that Samaria, became a little bit harder for pass. James also on Gold Sword. I think PH is as well.
Right, but then you back up. They were first to Samaria, but that was because they were first to Thieves Big. And I can't remember the whole backtrack of chain there. Nice 3-cycle Aga for P-Train. GFE might take 4. Nope, just makes it in 3. Oh, right, still need to climb Castle Tower. We have all the keys, but need to go through it as an exercise. Aga won't shoot blue balls, so at least that'll be quick. And there is past the Potence's go mode at about 1:39:08, so almost 7 minutes after Sphere-Funity's go mode. Oh yeah, I don't know if we've said, but the other thing about this mode is no extra Ganon warps. As PH takes down Trinex for his green pendant. But he's still a whole GT climb and CT climb behind Sphere-FUNity. And James still needs to get that key and beat Trinex. Down goes AGA 1 for P-Train.
Yeah, about 1 hour, 41 minutes, 10 seconds for the first AGA to go down on Sphere-FUNity side.
So it looks like, given the, not quite being in sync after the restart, GFE is almost a minute behind P-Train. It is impressive how long these guys have been playing together. Every season of League and some co-op tournaments besides.
Yeah, that really helps out because you have to know your friends, know your teammates. Really helps when you play this game as well as these two teams have.
Yeah, though PH and James have been together for a few years now as well as teammates, both in the League and in co-op tournaments.
And now they get to do it on the bigger stage with the Invitational League. And
yep.
Can't wait to see how the rest of this goes.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see runners that have been around for a few years making their Invitational League debut. Oh, Silver Arrows in Hyrule Castle, go figure. Because we never did see most of Escape.
I want them to be on the rats so bad.
Maybe they are. And down goes Ganon for P-Train. Get your GGs in. P-Train crosses at 1:43.15. And this should just about do it for GFE. Yep, there we go. And that'll be a 1:43.55 for GFE. Sphere-FUNity gets their first win in their first game of the season.
GG's, Sphere-FUNity.
PH opens the post-Moldorm chest for a bottle, because why not? And we are joined by P-Train and GFE. GG's, guys.
Hey, thanks for the GG's.
GG's.
Good mirror.
Yeah, I did want to talk about that. I was kind of surprised when P-Train didn't want to dip the back of Skull Woods.
Yeah, it felt so bad. I didn't want to dive the back of Skull Woods because I felt like the answer was clearly in pod. But then, probably the ultimate moment of regret was when I was going to the Aga Tower for CT2. At that point, it's like, why didn't I do the back of Skull? If that's the answer, it's going to feel so bad.
Yeah, that seemed like quite a bit of time consumption for one check.
Yeah. I mean, it was just getting nasty.
Yeah, I had
Um,
like I mean I felt like at that point it was either do CT2 or do back of skull. Like both of them were really bad.
Yeah. And, oh, by the way, there's the forfeits coming through for past the Potence, so hopefully we can get them in here shortly as well. But yeah, that also led to you guys. I'm sure aren't aware of this, but Past the Potence got their first sword well ahead of you guys because they were much sooner to the mirror, and there was a sword on Graveyard Ledge.
okay. That's what was there.
So we were kind of wondering when you guys would get your first sword. But
Honestly, like, looking at this, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't end up with the silvers. I don't know. I was expecting they might have done Hyrule Castle because you get all the keys. But I guess
No
if you
one
get
came back.
Mirror, you're not going to get trolled as much. Hey,
Yeah.
GG's, guys.
Hello,
GG.
GG's.
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 Yeah, we were discussing how none of you got silvers and how you guys were also. You got the first sword on Graveyard Ledge, and Sphere-FUNity never went to Graveyard Ledge.
Yeah. Why would you? Check's awful.
Well, you don't go to Graveyard Ledge when you last locate your mirror.
That's fair. We did not last locate the mirror.
That
Yeah,
was
we last located Swamp, which locked most of the seed, but
I don't
when
know.
did you get your bow? Did you rush Eastern like I did?
I don't think we did. I had it before going into Eastern, or I got it in the Eastern trip. It was fairly late though. It was we last located Pearl.
So like
Yeah, I
we
mean,
got
I think that just happens in this season.
Yeah,
yeah. Pearl's awful.
What was that? Oh man.
but
Like
we
for
had
us with
we had
the-
mirror very quickly.
Yeah, with the late mirror, our first sword was go to Pod to get the Desert Big,
To get out
and
of
then
Big
get the
Chest,
sword out of Desert Big Chest,
That's
which
not
I had to
unlocked because
do to make the back of Skull Woods make sense to get the hammer and mirror at the same time.
Yeah, that really. I mean, Cage decided to just go back there and got the mirror before even going to, obviously, for getting the sword at Graveyard Ledge. But, yeah, it's.
Well, I
had
think
a lot
so.
of weird flow to it.
yeah, this
To
seed
give a
was
little more
kinda nasty.
context, I did the front of Skull. Then I was headed over to. I got that sword. I was actually headed over to Pod, and then I got frame rolled by the Snapdragon and died. It was great. Also, I'd forgotten to get the book. We actually had a little bit, and this is all on me. James called all this stuff out, and then I didn't get the book, and I didn't get the TR small out of brewery, and that latter one actually ended up being pretty punitive as well. But so when I went back there, I had half magic, I had gotten the fire rod, I got that sword. We had enough small keys, and I was like, we've already seen the rest of it. I'm just gonna beat it here. So got that mirror on the first trip, and then got the hammer on the second trip pretty early too. It felt like because I felt like we went back there early-ish, but died in ice on just kind of not really paying attention to my health, and then all of a sudden realizing I was on like 2 hearts as I died.
Yep.
Oh, yo, that red
Adrian had a
potion never getting
terrifying
used.
Nice experience. So
Yeah, it was great. I finished the seed with the red. I died twice, and I finished the seed with the red.
GFE was stressing about Pyramid, and I told him, I'm like, dude, drink the red potion. You don't want to be that guy that dies on restream holding a red potion.
instead, I decided, I'm going to use Cape. I'm just going to use Cape.
Mhm.
But as I was dashing out of the pyramid screen, I thought I deactivated it early enough. I did not.
Oh, you got conveyored?
And like the Hinox was like coming straight at me, so I like paused real quick and was like, okay, we got to do something about this, and quickly reactivated Cape so I could get out of there. Like I was conveyoring diagonally. I don't know that I've ever done that. It was really weird because of the rocks. Like I don't know. That was a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrifying early. Like, I think I had 4 hearts for, I don't know, it felt like an hour. I don't think it was an hour, but it felt
I pulled off Zora even after PH said it would fire rod. I'm like, I'll just find a mirror and then chain it in with catfish, and then PH told me where the mirror was, and I'm like, well, crap. So I took the time to get the heart there, but yeah, this was a rough one early.
So, just real quick, if Clear Mouse is around, does anyone want to tell her where the bow is? Because it's a good friend of hers that has the bow.
You got it early.
His name is Frederick.
That's funny.
Oh, but there's one key rat. We never touched Front of Escape ever. I got the bow. I got the bow out of Eastern.
Yeah. We didn't do anything beyond map chest and the guard.
Sure.
And never went for key rat. I just went back and found it now.
Nice.
That's funny. Yeah, we did. I dipped it kind of early to do Dark Cross and the 2 in the front, but that was it. So nice thing is escape was pretty unnecessary, but
there was one
key
there. I forget what key.
Yeah, there was something in the
mitts or in the map.
No,
chest.
mitts
from the map chest.
Yeah.
That's
that
what it was. We
forced you to come to the castle and then leave the castle.
Go get the cape so you could then get your pearl.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a vanilla cape, wasn't it? I didn't.
It was.
Oh, yeah.
About that.
The seed had a vanilla cape. It had
vanilla GT small.
Vanilla Thieves Town small.
Right, and blind cell. It had a vanilla ice small under the pot, which was easy to miss because nothing popped up, and it was, wait a minute, they just grabbed the key and nothing popped up.
I never got that one. I got the one in GT, though. I was iffy about going into GT. I only had 3 small keys at the time, so that's why I dipped the first few checks of TR.
That's what PH did as well.
Yeah, that's really funny.
And then there's like, what, 2? There were 2 the 2 or 3 in GT. One was under the pot, one was in big chest.
Yeah, right, because you went back for map chest because you found a GT
the big
small
chest.
in the big chest. Yeah.
I'm P-Train is glad that Lava Chest did not have a CT small.
So is PH. So am I.
I was riding dirty with some of these keys. I was like, no, I'm just gonna let the swamp big. I was like, no, don't need that. I think I was short a TR key, and
then both the swamp smalls and pod. I was like, P-Train, there is a small chance you might need to grab one of these, but
I was like, no, sir.
Do you, man?
I was like, if we need those keys, we probably already lost at this point, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I forfeited landing on the pyramid, but I still have to do Castle Tower, so we were probably about each 6 to 7 minutes behind, all things told.
About 7 minutes based on when you each got your go mode.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Look, Drowsy, that's very insulting. Obviously, I saved at least 4 to 5 minutes on execution in the 3 minutes.
Clearly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but the thing is, I lost it all back is the problem.
Ask about the hook shot being in Checkerboard Cave, because you, James and PH, you guys got that relatively soon after the mirror. Sphere-FUNity found it super late. Was there any reasons of going there so late?
Because PH had skipped the book, I kind of forced me to do the desert checks as quickly as possible to see if he needed to get that book, and we found the flute there. And then the first thing I did after getting the flute was check Mire, Shed, and Checkerboard and make a decision on whether I wanted to go into Mire or not. And hooray!
Yeah, where we got mirror so late. Like,
right.
When you get mirror and hammer, you're going to the mountain. Like that's just what you're doing. And then after that, I forgot what I did after the mountain.
And I will say,
the train eventually went to clean up the mirror checks. And
in my mind, like my mental checklist had GFE did the Mire area.
Had done Mire area. Yeah,
which I should have remembered. Like he couldn't have done Checkerboard, but I had written off the Mire area in my mind.
Right.
I mean, the funny thing was PH was the one on your team who went up the mountain when James was the one with the hook shot.
It's so funny.
And the result was, you should watch it back. PH and T-Train hovering hookshot cave at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh,
P-Train
really?
followed me up. He didn't know where to go, so he just followed me up. And I was like, at least you can hover hookshot cave, man. Just
Yeah,
do that.
like PH can hover it, I can't. So like I have the hook shot. I'm like, if there's something there, then cool. I
feel
can
like-
get it. We're not that worried.
I mean, the only thing there was powder,
there
which
was
I
nothing.
saved my shroom.
I feel like there were at least 4 times, like after Dark World Access, where I was like, all right, GFE is going toward a crap ton of items. I'm just going to follow him because surely the answer is there.
And it
And then he's
wasn't.
like, yeah, he's like, I'm in pod, it's empty. It's like, I'm in mire, it's empty. I'm on the mountain, dude, there's just a mushroom. I'll go turn it in real quick, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm in pod. There's a desert big key for your sword. I'm in mire. There's a sword and fishbone. Like,
Yeah.
that's all you get, man.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like, I couldn't remember what small keys I got in mire. I had no clue at that point. I just told P-Train, like, when you come here, just do everything on the right side and go to fishbone. And then ends up like
I remember
at that
it was
point
just.
he didn't
I think
need
it was
anything
just.
anymore.
I think it was just 2 in Spike Room, and that's it. But I can't remember if there was another one or not.
There was a
Swamp
Hyrule
Pig.
Castle, a desert, and
Swamp Pig was on the big chest, I think.
the Swamp Big Key. And
Yeah,
P-Train
yeah, yeah. I
purposefully
told him that
skipped
one too.
that one. He said, "Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not getting that one, man." But the others he grabbed, and he's like, "Dude, I'm pretty sure this is all trash because we already ruled out all these checks." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay, that's fine." It's too hard to keep track of this mentally.
Yeah, it's so
co-op.
difficult.
You try your best.
Go
but-
mode definitely snuck up on me on this scene.
Oh, you GT mode.
Well, yeah, like I mean, I think we both spaced on the CT smalls for a bit, like
Yeah,
not
for
long
both
enough
you.
for it to matter. But like all of a sudden, GFE, I can't remember what it was you found. It was Kana Samaria on blind.
Samaria on blind.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, "Are we in go mode? Like, what do we need?"
yeah.
to
We
actually
knew
beat the
we knew
game?"
we were Samaria for GT mode for a while. And then we still need to pick up. At that point, we still need to pick up Pod Big, Turtle Rock Big, and a couple CT smalls. And like PH found the Pod Big in Eastern as I was finding Samaria on blind. But too little, too late.
Yeah, I think on top of everything else, like, I mean, realistically, the Death and Ice actually probably didn't really matter much because I would have ended up having to go back and do pretty much everything the same anyway
Yeah.
to get the rest of the stuff on the right. But the overworld death and an extra full mountain climb is probably for it like that. Like, it's not the whole difference, but that was
It's a good chunk of time, especially that overworld death. Like, because getting
Yeah.
back there is so bad. And
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I was
still-
right there with you. Like,
I was pretty
super
hammered
close
too,
to
so-
that same death.
Yeah, I was real mad.
So one thing that was brought up in chat that I wanted to ask about was, James, you had an unfortunate situation in Ice Mouse with the Pen Gators.
Yeah, I spaced out. I forgot that Quake kills them and Ether stuns them, and so I stunned them all with Ether, and I ended up like throwing one into another, and the one landed in the corner, and I couldn't hit it, and I had to walk back out and walk back in, and
Are you serious, man? Oh,
Yeah, I was-
wow.
it was not. I'm talking with PH on the call, and I'm like, yeah, Restream's gonna have a freaking field day with this one.
They were saying use Quake, and some were suggesting throwing bombs while it was exploding.
I'm not good at the bomb strategy. Like I tried it the second time in and then switched to Quake after it went poorly because I knew I had to do a bomb jump, at least one bomb jump. And then, that was just like, I was like, yeah, Restream's gonna have fun with that one.
I mean, to be fair, my Pen Gator room wasn't very pretty either because, you know, in this mode, any co-op mode really, you're like trying to brainstorm with and listen
Oh,
to
yeah.
listen to your partner all this time. And so while I was going into Pen Gator, P-Train was trying to remember, like, do I need to do Pen Gator? And so I was not prepared with my bombs because I know that I have a good bomb strat I usually use. But I went in there and he's like, yep, you do need it. And by that point, like, it was too late for me
Too late to go for the bomb strat.
think
Yeah.
about it. So I just kind of messed around and
The worst part is I forgot
did
it was
remember
important,
Quake,
and then
at least.
I forgot it was important and didn't tell PH about it, and I think that was like TR6 or something.
Was that a TR or was that a GT?
Mm.
I can't remember.
No, it was GT, which we
It was
were
GT.
Which was
worried about, but it
seemed
ended up.
important at the time.
Yeah,
I definitely took the time when I was opening up the hallway in pod, in the back of pod, to just load up my bot and start scraping for the couple keys. I know I had like, because I had all 6 TR smalls at that point, and PH had 4 at that point.
Yeah.
And then I also had like 2 more GT smalls than him, and had not gotten one that I know that he had. So I was like, better figure out what I didn't tell you about, or did tell you about in passing.
Did y'all have enough smalls to do left side swamp, or did y'all avoid that?
We did not do left side swamp.
We didn't either. We only had 4 when we went in. So.
Yeah, we had 4. I took forever for one of us to go in there and get the 2 bigs that were in there.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have a lot left after we got hooked. When we finally got hooked, it's like, okay, swamp's where we're going, man. That's the answer.
Look, this is all just evidence that Bomb Spooky is actually a total scam and a time lock. That's all I'm saying.
Shush. I lost a tournament championship to Bomb Spooky, so no. Shout outs to Humbug.
No.
I could be XD Hunt champ if not for Bomb Spooky.
Well, I think we should probably wrap, since I know you guys aren't on the East Coast, but it is after midnight here on the East Coast.
Yeah, my boy P-Train's been running sick a little bit lately, so he needs some rest.
Oh no, feel better, dude.
Yeah, a lot of nasty stuff going around, unfortunately.
Well,
GG's guys.
Just say GG's
y'all.
again. Thanks for the comms. Thanks for tracking. I see Blue Link still. The other may have already left if there was.
Yeah, it was homemade beer.
Oh yeah, thanks homemade then.
So good beer.
And good luck come our next match. I believe it's Friday evening.
Yeah.
I'll need the most luck because I have only heard about co-oping with Julo. I've never actually done it, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
Oh man, the play styles I think may be an interesting combo.
And we'll likewise get to see PH back with Pichu for that match.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So yeah, GG's again to you all. Please give the runners a follow. Do check them and their teammates out at 9 p.m. on Friday, which is when that other match is. Speaking of other matches, we have a couple already on the schedule for tomorrow. We have at 2 p.m. Eastern, Blue Trinex Group versus Banana Brigade on SpeedGaming 2. At 5 p.m., we have the Sticky Priests, formerly known as the Spoilers, or Eastern Palace Skippers, against the Season 3 champion Fendrana Drifters. So that should be a heck of a match. That is on SpeedGaming Main. So keep your eyes on the schedule for those. Again, huge thanks to Homemade Beer and Blue Link for tracking this. And thanks, Furious Prince, for doing comms. Hope you enjoyed Key Drop here in the end.
I did. It was a lot to keep up with, and definitely something that I'm so glad I didn't play, because my mind would have been going, oh, I still got to do Hyrule Castle, still got to do this, still got to do that. So I'm glad to see these runners are able to keep on track. And
yeah, no, it was a fun match to watch for sure, Decon.
And go give my co-commentator Drowsy a follow as well. We're in for the long haul here.
Yep. And we're actually going to get you over to SpeedGaming Main. There is a match between Risky and Terrible Gambits and Aga's Backup Dancers that's still going on, so we can hop in for the tail end of that. So, with that, thank you all for watching, and see you over on SpeedGaming Main.